I've just done it again by accident. You know, I thought I heard the footsteps go away, so I thought I'd shine the flashlight, but I died, and it's happened again. I didn't want to use this glitch for Golden Freddy mode, but even after 100 attempts of trying this, I wasn't good enough. I kept dying over and over. I got a few attempts to the last 2 hours of the game against Nightmare, which is a less forgiving threat there, and I just couldn't do it. On top of that, I was having official attempts get randomly affected by this glitch, so after hours upon hours of trying to legitimately complete this mode, I gave in to the glitch. It was a shame to use it at the time, but later in the video, I end up revisiting the mode to actually.
Hello,
I also
and
still had
welcome
two
to
trophies to
whatever
get, which
you
would be
wish.
beating all the mini games, Flash Trap being one of them, and the other, Moonbot, which can be found in the
And
is essentially a harder version of Flash Trap, but we easily get the trophy.
Meh,
And our
who
final
cares?
trophy was to die to every animatronic, in which I had to only die to Foxy to get. And that concludes Five Nights at Freddy's 4 with a total playtime of 11 hours, but it probably would have been a lot more if I didn't use the glitch. After being so annoyed with FNAF 4, I decided to go into Five Nights at Freddy's VR Help Wanted, which can be played without a VR headset. While I agree that the game would be incredible in VR, there was no way I was spending an absurd amount of money on a VR headset. 15 trophies available, rated a 6 out of 10 difficulty, 1 playthrough in roughly 20 hours. It has a variety of games like the first 3, repairing animatronics, listening games, and more. Our main goal is to beat every level available on this television. Hitting this switch to our left grants us the first trophy. This switch basically toggles the harder modes of the existing. First, Five Nights at Freddy's 1. It was 2 trophies. One for finding a token, in which we'll need to find them all. And our other trophy was for leaving the office, which resulted in some scaring Foxy. After beating a level, we will be presented with a present, but I got a jump scare prize that rewarded us 2 trophies. One for the jump scare prize, and the other for getting jump scared. Next, I would progress on to Five Nights at Freddy's 2, and get more rewards this time for a piece of candy, and using it grants another trophy. You can also get these action figures in the present, and for some weird reason, you can eat them and get another trophy. I decided to check out the mini game for repair animatronics. First off is Bonnie, and if you strum his guitar, we get a trophy. We repair his eye sockets, and now must work on Tika. Another trophy being available here, we will see 25 creatures. After getting more rewards from various levels, I would eventually have 3 action figures of Bonnie, Freddy, and Tika. And by going to the prize counter, I could have each action figure out and get a trophy for replicating the original main stage show. Now, we wouldn't get the next trophies for a while, as we needed to beat the rest of the game, including the hard mode stuff. We went for a variety of game modes like FNAF 3 and FNAF 4's gameplay with different characters. There was also an upcoming spoiler for the next game being Sister Location, where we had to close the door once the animatronic noticed us, but if you held too long, the plush inside would get you, walking through a pitch black room. An incredibly annoying find the plush game. One of the possible edibles in game being all of the sweets. And eventually we look for trophies. This concludes the 10 trophies available. One playthrough. I'd say driven, in which I won't be able to do justice in this video. Each night is different from the last. We're a new employee of Circus Babies Entertainment and Rental, where we'll be doing maintenance tasks. Night 2 has us check on Circus Baby again, however, our control panel needs to be reset. causing the vents to open and the security to be disabled. Circus Baby begins to speak to us, saying that there is a hidey hole under the desk to hide from some animatronics, so we have to pull this panel to prevent them from entering. But a future trophy requires us to experience every jump scare, so we accept our fate. After the breaker room requires us to hold these buttons and eventually get the trophy. We must register on time at all while we have to use our camera to flash the room and make our way to parts and service, where we're going to deactivate Funtime Freddy and his puppet Bon Bon.
Hello?
And make our way back.
Hello, hello, hello.
Funtime Foxy, and that concludes Night 3, surprisingly. Night 4 has us in a Springbok suit, according to Circus Baby, and here we must press all these buttons to prevent them from failing. Also, while dealing with these other animatronics that go into our suit. Alert, need a mouse. We can cursor speed and thankfully cursor wrap around, but after several attempts, I would get the 4th trophy. Conclude Night 5, we're in parts and service with Circus Baby, in which we listen to a code that is inputted on this tiny keypad. This sucks. This was infuriating. If you're too slow, you get jump scared. Too fast, you miss the button.
How deep is this? Oh,
How could I expect you to do this with a controller? Turns out if you're one of the triggers, you can make the cursor move slower. While it helps, this hole is annoying, purely because we're using a controller and not a mouse. After sending Circus Baby to what is known as the scooping room, we're then guided to the scooping room ourselves, only to be scooped by an animatronic which results in the 4th trophy. Our 6th trophy would be completing this platformer puzzle minigame by giving all the characters cupcakes, which would result in getting ice cream, or take it back to the beginning of the level. After doing this allows us to get the secret ending by completing Night 5 again. However, instead of going into the scooping room, we enter a different room, which throws back into the original line of Freddy's gameplay. While it is simple, it is unforgiving with the amount of power you get. It quickly depletes, which relies on most of the night we got by this time. After several attempts, probably even more attempts at a stupid keypad game, like with the main story now done, Custom Night would be unlocked, and we'd have to get 2 trophies from it. Before that, I decided to experience all the deaths and jump scares from the remaining animatronics in this mode. It's not a surprise that once again, Golden Freddy mode is the hardest trophy to get, and especially harder here because it's entirely new. We haven't experienced anything like this in the previous night, so I decided to throw myself in the event by starting to keep and animatronics are all new. With the main story now, Laura, who Custom Night would be on room, allowed after years of trophies before she is close. Before that, I decided that I'm ready. All the different jumps in the room. He has 2 phrases for different attacks. If he says one, he'll attack on the side he is on. If he says the other phrase, he'll attack on the opposite side. What is the correct or what phrase he said? You know, there's a high chance of hearing when bringing up the tablet. For too long, you die. He also likes to take your oxygen, which makes you screen darken and become difficult to see. Lift back the tablet after you see him to get rid of them. Sometime Foxy, it's like normal Foxy, hides in a room, watching them pause progress, and close the door if they're not. Bonnet, arguably the worst thing in the entire game, this game is clearly designed for a mouse. You must click Bonnet's nose to get rid of them. They randomly spawn like here, flipping up on the tablet. Hopefully this, allows you to place your target flex become memory by turning the dead zone of the joystick and sensitivity down, so it's less likely to move from that position. Biddy Bab on the front facing vent, or noise cue starts to position once you hear it, close the vent until you leave. Electrobab appears in the opposite room of Freddy and drain your power. To get rid of them, randomly select them like the Minarinas who attack your oxygen tanks. These 2 go together as you can easily get them to spawn at the same time. And our last 2 animatronics being Lolbit, who appears on the television. By pressing the joysticks in a pattern, it will disappear. Otherwise, it will affect your ability to use the tablet and doors. And finally, the second set of Minarinas, who just stick to your screen and there's no way to get rid of them.
What a devastating blow for Luador!